Welcome to a discussion this morning on a new report by the McIlvaine Company, NO64 Fluid Treatment and Control World Markets. A number of our clients have asked us to provide a much broader picture of the air and water markets for all these different products than appear in our individual reports. And so in response, we have come up with this new report, which is Fluid Treatment and Control. And it's an umbrella type report that takes the best and most useful of the information from a lot of the individual reports, and that adds a great deal more too, because we get into a lot of areas that we don't cover in our standard reports. And this is a for $5,900 per year online report. However, even though you get 300 or 400 pages a month, the value is considerable, and so even if you're going to only use it for 2 weeks, you can do so economically. So it does cover hardware and consumables for the treatment and control of stack gases, indoor air, compressed air, water, wastewater, processed fluids, and fuels. And it includes pumps and valves and filters, separators, disinfection devices, and biological treatment systems, and a range of chemicals and other consumables associated with these processes. And so we cover the industrial, commercial, mobile, residential, and government sectors, and you do get the updates continually, you can get additional reports from us at a reduced price. So who should be getting this report? And the answer to that is investors, companies expanding through acquisition, media and materials companies, components, materials, and instrumentation suppliers, and multi-product corporations. So pretty much the gamut of these companies. And on the other hand, if you have a more microscopic need, you can buy one of our specific reports, and we have them on all these other different subjects: pumps, valves, cartridges, water treatment chemicals, and then the whole range of air pollution control chemicals as well. So what's included here? Well, we have a $380 billion market that is included in this report, and here's how it breaks out. Let's just go down and see that you have industrial pumps and valves at $86 billion worldwide, but residential and commercial, the sump pumps and everything else there has another $100 billion, but it's certainly a different type of a market. And you've got various types of liquid treatment and control, disinfection, et cetera, everything down to your Brita filters in your residential is another $115 billion. And your indoor and outdoor air, your stack gases, your big power plant emissions, go right down to the residential air filters, adds another $80 billion. And so we really are talking about a $380 billion market, and nobody really has a very big percentage of that market now. Here's the way it breaks out. But let's just take a look at some of the companies that are playing in this field, and you'll see that these are the 5 biggest companies in the field, but none of them really have more than about 1% of the total market. And here's the way specifically a lot of them break out. You'll notice that no one is strong in all 3 of the sectors, and there really is no consistency as to which companies have expanded out of valves or stayed in valves and pumps like Flowserve. So it's a mixed bag here. There's a number of trends that we're picking up here, including the rural migration, demand for cleaner water, continued growth in clean coal power, and we'll continue to pinpoint a number of areas that are particularly desirable for the growth and should be a target. Electrodeionization, for instance, there have been some announcements about its availability now as a replacement potentially for RO for seawater, and improved cross-flow membranes, energy recovery pumps, lubrication treatment for wind turbines, mobile filtration in Asia. Byproducts from power plant pollution control is something we've gotten into. And there's an interesting opportunity to actually make hydrochloric acid and all sorts of things from the air pollution control waste. Membrane bags for air pollution control is another hot area. And residential point of entry in Asia, swimming pools, are some interesting areas and things there. So that gives you a few of the highlights in the report. Now let's just maybe go to some specifics. We get into certain things such as here is a way to break out a lot of these numbers by cooling and process versus wastewater. That and we'll just so we'll get out of that and see. We'll get out of that one and close the current tab here. Cancel this one and let's just see. We're back in the stop sharing. We're going to go back to our desktop again here. So share the desktop. We'll get back into it. Pardon the delay here. But then we'll also get into the water opportunities. And what we've tried to do here is to look broadly at everything from snow removal to iceberg melting to everything to do with water in the world, and looking at this using one of our stratigraphic charts, which was invented by one of our employees, Tom Shantz here. And where are the revenue generators and anything to do with water? You know, a lot of these things are covered in the report, and so this is a broad view of looking at some of these things, and then we even have ways of determining things like important event odds, which are very, very important to making these decisions. You know, why is the market going to grow at a certain rate? Well, it depends on, you know, terrorism and a bunch of other things that have to be taken into account. And the couple other things here you can go into. We do have a lot of specific information in the report about companies, and so their market shares for all these different companies, whether they're chemical companies or filter companies, and then to try to break their sales down by regions and by products and by the applications. So you break it down all sorts of different ways. So we do list the top 50 pump companies, valve companies, and then each of these other different areas here. And in the air pollution control field, we look at this segmented between the big power plant providers like Alstom and B&W and so forth, down to a lot of the little companies, for instance, that are in thermal and catalytic and incineration, such as Anguille. So, and of course, we're looking at all the Chinese companies. So we're looking at the gamut in terms of the companies that are involved in these marketplaces. And we're getting into specific areas and things too, so we can get into gas liquids, which we've identified, for instance, as a promising market, and how big is that market going to be for the filtration equipment. So this is the kind of thing that we're getting into as well. And you get some other services with us as well here. So if we go into our share folder here, we'll go into our web browser, and go to the McIlvaine Company right here. So you can go into our subscriber login section, and we can show you what some of the things that you are going to be accessing. You have an OEM networking directory, which has all the OEM companies around the world. So anybody that you might be acquiring or dealing with and so forth will be in the directory. and you're getting all sorts of industry segments with forecasts with the report too. So anything from GDP to oil sands and gas sands and oil shale, you're actually getting whole reports where you can go in to the updates and see what's going on at a particular point in time, or get a forecast for the entire industry. And we think those are important. There's an instant forecasting aspect to this as well, where you get the ability to instantly forecast any product for any country of the world. So there's a lot that's in there, and we're just going to highlight one last thing here because we wanted to keep this short, even though it's a huge service. But you get this entire air pollution management service with it as well. So you get the specific markets for fabric filters and NOx control and so forth. They're all shown here. How much is going to be spent for catalyst, etc. But you can also search a newsletter, but you also get the chronological newsletter along with this on the air side. So it gets into every month into the profitability and other types of data about all the companies in the field and what they're doing. So you can click on see on Turbosonics, which is a small little company that's doing quite well, and what their revenues are and what is going on lately. So that's a brief overview of a very comprehensive and useful report. We welcome the opportunity to talk to you more about fluid treatment and control. And this is Bob McIlvaine. You can get a hold of me at 847-784-0012, extension 112, or R. McIlvaine at McIlvaineCompany.com. Or talk to Denise Flash or Ross Ardell or any of our other people here. We'd be happy to tell you a little bit more about this report. Thank you very much for your time today.